I'm here with Chuck Haynes in the pits. Chuck, your car here, it's a jet dragster, capable of over 300 miles an hour. Would you tell us a few things about it?
Well, thanks a lot, and Gordy, and it's all great to be back here at Edmonton and the RAD Dragway, and we're really happy to be here for the Snap-on Night of Fire. And actually, the car is a jet dragster, and it's propelled by a Pratt & Whitney J60 engine. Now, that engine was used in Saberliners, Jetstar, small private type jets. It puts out about 13,000 horsepower, has about 6,000 pounds of thrust, and is capable of speeds of over 300 miles an hour.
Great. And now, Chuck, I know you've been in the business quite a long time. Can you please tell the people out there how long you've been in the business?
Well, the jet business, this is going into our 6th season. The RAD Raceway is really kind of a special place for me because this is our first drag race where the jet was here at the old Capitol Raceway. And so we've got a lot of friends and a lot of family, and might as well be family here.
That's true, yeah. No, we look forward to seeing you back here every year. What do you expect out of the conditions here tonight?
Well, to be totally honest with you, Stan, it's pretty warm tonight. Mm-hmm. We were really hoping to run over 290, but unless it comes and cools off a bit and the air comes to us a little bit, I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to probably be in the 270s, 280 range. I'd sure like to see it happen, but you know, the atmospheric conditions have a lot to do with these engines, and it's going to hamper our performance some.
Right. Okay, the fuel that you run in this, now I know some people know that jet engines can almost run on anything, but what do you run in this particular
Well, we prefer to run kerosene. Mm-hmm. K1 is what we prefer to run. We've run diesel in them. We've run Jet A. We've run some JP4. So they are verse on a lot of different fuels. And to be honest with you, a lot of the differences in how sooty they are, you know, you run diesel fuel in them and things get a lot sootier.
That's
but
true.
They will run fine on them.
Yes.
What a distinct sound these jet cars make. You're looking at current track record holder from Billings, Montana, Chuck Haynes in Gravity Storm. Chuck Haynes, just a couple of years ago, ran 5.52 seconds in the quarter mile, and he lost out the mile-per-hour record to Doug Dothett from California. Doug ran 289.20 miles an hour, and again, wouldn't it be nice to see a new track record set here at the RAD Raceway in Autotrans Championship Drag Racing?
That's true, Gord, because a couple years ago, they were only allowed to run these cars up to 300 miles an hour. Now they've bumped it up to 320. So who knows what we're going to see here tonight.
Well, that interview we did with Chuck earlier on, he was a little bit worried about the weather conditions. It's a beautiful day. Hey, it's great for sun tanning and all that kind of stuff, but like you know, like a person standing out in the hot sun all day, you get sort of tired and sluggish. Race cars react in the same way.
That's true. Yes, they do, Gord.
Ready for a fire show?
Yes.
For those of you at home who have not seen a fire show, stand by. It's going to get great tonight too, when the lights go out, or lights come on. Here comes the flame.
Here we go.
Sit back and enjoy, Stan. Here we go.
Now this is part of their show, Gord, okay? It's not really that necessary that they do this, but the fans love it, and hey, it is fantastic, especially when we get to see it at night.
Yeah, and we will be carrying the jet car is going to be running 2 more times after this pass.
That's right.
Now, Chuck Haynes actually owns the car that he's running against here. He's sort of a 2-car team. Leland Blee, also from the great state of Montana, who's a newcomer to the jet car scene, is piloting that car here tonight. Jet dragster called Pacifier. About 11,000 horsepower for each of these jet dragsters.
Just awesome, Gord. Just awesome. I mean, how would you like to go get your groceries with one of these babies?
I wouldn't like to tailgate one of these guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, but wouldn't they be great in the wintertime for driving up that road as you're driving down it?
Alrighty, it's horsepower time, mile-per-hour time. Chuck Haynes, Leland Blee, and away they go. Reaction time goes to Blee. And he crosses the finish line with a 6:33, 251.60 miles an hour, beating his boss, who had the slower ET, a 6.8 or a faster ET, a 6:18 at 263.08 miles an hour. But you can see there's what reaction time does for you. Drag racing. We're at RAD Raceway, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and the 1999 Snap-on Duels. Hot August night, and the action doesn't get any hotter than this. Round 2 of the jet cars. Stan Ankers with me in the announcer tower, and Stan, a think we're going to see a little bit more performance. It's cooled off just a little bit out there. The sun is
going down.
It's sunset now.
Yeah, it's going down. That means that the air's right, and the heat that's in the track is going to stick with it. And yeah, I expect that we'll see some performance here now.
I know the cameras are going to be flashing like crazy in the grandstands here as we get set to light these afterburners. And Chuck is first, Leland Blee, and Pacifier is next, and the fire shows. Man, you got to like these.
Oh, no doubt, Gord, no doubt. As you can see, it is getting darker, and it is showing up more so than it did in the daylight.
Well, earlier this year, down in Montana, where Chuck Haynes is from, outside of Billings, they were at the Big Sky Balloon Fest. Now, you know how they have with the flames shooting up inside the balloon, and Chuck Haynes' jet dragster was there, just having a little bit of competition with the balloon. So it was
that would have been fun.
It would have been fun to see. No balloons here, but we've got some of the fastest jet dragsters in the western part of North America on the property here tonight. Burner pops now as they inch up. Actually, they've got a brake which they release, and they actually use the jet engine thrust to push them
forward. That's what pushes them forward. Yeah. It's not like your mechanically driven V8 cars.
Like a piston engine. No, it's just a turbine.
It's a thrust turbine, and actually a very simple thing here. Takes maintenance on them. I mean, don't get me wrong, but quite an easy way to run.
Low maintenance.
Low, yeah. Within reason, yes.
All right, here we go. Round 2 of the Jets. Chuck Haynes, Leland Blee.
Staging. There they go.
Well, Leland again gets the better reaction time over his boss. Chuck's got this car running great. A 5.97, 279.58 miles an hour for the win. Leland a 6.17. Looks like he may have shut her off early. 219.72 miles an hour. I know they're driving directly into, well, the sun is basically down now, but still there's a little bit of a glare, and sometimes it could be a little disconcerting for the drivers. Better be safe again.
No, that's true, Gord. Yeah, the sun, of course, with the way the track runs heading to the west, at certain times of the year, and this is the time of the year we're getting into it, where it is a little bit effective in that, and the drivers have to compensate for that.
Well, that's getting closer to track record-setting material there. Again, 289.20 miles an hour is the track record. So Chuck Haynes about 10 miles an hour off. He's got one more attempt to regain the mile-per-hour record here at RAD Raceway. He already has the ET, set that back in 1997 with a 5.52. Very busy day for them. And a lot of them have been here now going on, well, several hours now. And
right now it's maybe not that bad for them because it's cool, but boy, earlier on in the day,
it was a scorcher. All right, race fans, this is going to be the final pass of the night for our jet car competitors. This is why they call it Hot August Night. You betcha. It will light up the nighttime sky here as we get the afterburners fully lit. We've got Chuck Haynes taking on again his good buddy out of Billings, Montana area, Leland Blee, driving the Pacifier. Chuck Haynes been driving. Wow, this was the first ever track that Chuck Haynes raced at. He told us that in the interview that you had with him at the start of our show here.
No, I remember him coming up, and he enjoys coming back here.
Yes, he does.
And such a super fellow to have back. I mean, you ever get a chance to, when he comes back up again, to go and talk to him, go talk to him. Really nice, pleasant guy.
Well,
just super.
It's funny how big his little company has grown, because it really is a company, Haynes Racing Enterprises.
Yeah.
He started out with one jet dragster, and then all of a sudden he had the finances to buy 2, and then he's getting phone calls. He's going down to Australia for the 3rd time now. He'll be down there in February of the year 2000. He's going to be actually down in Australia for almost a month and a half, racing from coast to coast. Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Willowbank. So he's looking forward to that. It's just amazing. He just started off on a whim. I want to go racing, and it's just grown to where he's so busy now, he almost has to turn tracks down.
So what are you doing in February, Gord? I think I know where I'm going to try and go and head.
Wouldn't that be neat? It's summer down there when we're freezing up here.
It's the middle of winter here.
You got it.
Oh,
you got her. Final pass It's tied 1 apiece, actually, between Leland
That's
Blee
true.
and his boss in Gravity Storm, Chuck Haynes. And we'll see what happens here. Again, 300 miles an hour, okay? It's possible. Chuck Haynes laid down the pass, his last pass, only 10 miles off the actual track record. He ran about 279 miles an hour last pass. The current track record, 289.20 miles an hour. He would surely love to leave Labatt Raceway with a new track record in his name on the speed end of things. He already owns the ET, the elapsed time record, of a 5:52. Now, if you're wondering, okay, well, why are we running 2 cars in both lanes? Like, we didn't have the funny cars.
Okay.
We did the funny cars in only 1 lane. How come we're doing jet dragsters in both lanes now?
Here we get back to the thrust.
Yes.
And because of that, we can run the jet dragsters. That is an advantage with having the jet-powered vehicles out here.
There's no transmission in these things.
No,
it's purely
just
thrust.
and
the rear tires aren't going to spin.
They'll be able to handle that little problem that's in that left-hand lane. With
a little greasy. It's a little greasy, but the jets should be able to handle that. We'll keep our fingers crossed, okay?
Oh, I've got no doubt they'll handle it, Gord.
Okay, well, that's good.
The tires and the wheels are there just to hold the vehicle basically off the ground.
And here is our in-cars camera shot again.
Go for it.
And we are firing Leland Blee's jet dragster. You can see the switch gets those turbines are rotating.
And here we go. Here's what the people came for.
Man, these camera shots are surprising even me here tonight.
The people are starting to get up and get off their hands, and they're standing, and they're just getting ecstatic because they know what's coming.
About 18,000 RPM. That's how fast those turbines are spinning in those jet engines. Again, these cars weigh about 1,400 pounds. Now you put about 11,000 horsepower on a 1,500-pound car.
Hey, look at
Man.
this.
Oh,
Unreal.
This is great. Cine Audio Visual, again, thank you guys for providing us with an in-car camera here tonight. Autotrans Championship Drag
Are they
Racing.
eating it up, or are they eating it up, Gord?
It's a great family event, the Snap-on Tools Hot August night. The entire family's enjoying the show because that's indeed what it is.
Yeah, the facility out here is just really a nice one to be at. And the nice thing about drag racing, there's no age restriction to coming in the pits and seeing the stars.
Get to see the cars up close.
Get to
Talk
see
to the
them up
drivers.
close and that,
Sometimes they will even let you sit in the race cars.
That's right. We're unfortunately over in the oval side, because of the situation there and that, they have to put an age restriction on people getting in of 16 years old.
That's during the race. After the race, anyone's
after the race,
allowed
that's
in.
True.
Yeah,
after the race, anybody can come in and that.
Yeah.
But even during the race here on the drag strip side, you can go down the pits and see the cars that you like, talk to the drivers, and they love to talk to you.
Fire show is now over. Leland Blee, Chuck Haynes inching up to the start line. Again, 289.20 miles an hour. Chuck Haynes is going to try and set a new track record on this pass. He was close last pass, running 279. Does Gravity Storm have enough in it for a new track record? There's that in-car gap.
We're going for a ride, Gord.
Chuck Haynes cruising, 475 reaction time. I saw a couple of pops. 6 seconds flat, 264 even for the win. Blee runs a 628, 250.34 miles an hour. I saw a couple of flashes come out from behind Chuck Haynes' jet dragster. Yes. There may have been some misfiring going on.
I believe so, Gord. I'm
Dragster.
sure something happened there because that wasn't a typical run for these two cars.
So that's too bad. I was hoping we were going to get a track record tonight, maybe 300 miles an hour. It'd been nice to have on Shaw Motorsports. Man, for the first ever jet car performance on television in Western Canada, and we have it here on Shaw Motorsports. Yeah. Here's the replay. You can see the afterburners fully lit as they head down the racetrack. Keep an eye on the flashes in the left-hand lane. There's one. Yeah, we got problems there. That's slowing him down. Boom, 2.
And yet he's still leading.
Yes, it's pure momentum right now. There's another flash. So yeah, and
something was happening.
See the color of the flame even changed too near the end.
Volcano Gravity Storm. What's going on? You're pulling a fast one on here tonight at Budweiser Motorsports Park. Chuck Haynes.
Thank you. It's great to be back, Gord. Yeah, we've slipped a little one in on you guys this time. We bought a brand new car out here. This is the debut of the Volcano jet car.
So this is the first appearance in Canada, first appearance on TV as well, and first appearance for the fans that are packing the grandstands here at Budweiser Motorsports Park.
It is. It's actually the first appearance of the car anywhere, both in the United States and in Canada, as we know it as Volcano. It's a brand new car for me.
Now, the difference between your Volcano jet dragster and Gravity Storm, what are the main differences?
Well, actually, both cars were built by the same guy, which makes it really nice for me. I can climb in either car, and I'm comfortable in either one of them. However, the new car is a little lighter, about 200 pounds lighter. There's a few tricks that have been done to the compressor section on that Pratt & Whitney J60, and it's making for some awfully quick times.
Now, we talked about this last year, hoping to see maybe closing in on the 300-mile-an-hour mark. Is that possible tonight?
Well, I'd sure like to think so. I won't promise anything. The air is still pretty warm here, and the shutdown area is a little short here, the braking area. So obviously the first run I'm going to ease into it and shut it off a little early, and we'll see how easy we get it stopped. As the night goes on and it cools off and the air gets a little better, that's when we're going to see the big numbers, and we're certainly going to try.
Well, Chuck Haynes, good luck in the brand spanking new Volcano jet dragster here at the hot August night here at Budweiser Motorsports Park.
Second round, or second pass, I should say, of our jet car competitors. We've got Chuck Haynes in the debut of Volcano going up against Pacifier and Leland Blee, a driver up from Billings, Montana. In fact, Blee and Haynes are actually teammates. Chuck owns the Haynes Racing Enterprises. He has two jet dragsters under his fold, and he travels around to different racetracks. Of course, he and Blee were down in Australia. They rung in the new year down under, going down the quarter mile at around 280 miles an hour. So that was a neat experience for both Haynes and Blee. Well, there's a good look at the brand spanking new Volcano jet dragster of Chuck Haynes. And a little bit apprehensive prior to the event here tonight. It's a brand new car, of course, and he's just worried about how it's going to perform here tonight. Of course, he ran south of the border when he bought this car, 315 miles an hour in a couple of checkout passes. So you betcha. That's one of the reasons why I'm saying, and we've been saying, that we could see an over 300 mile an hour pass here tonight.
Yeah, that's true, Gord. If you look on the far side with the Pacifier car, the fellow that's helping him there tonight is Jeff Goodwin out of Red Deer, Alberta. Actually, Jeff went over to Australia with these guys and spent the winter.
That's right, he
Jeff
did
is
too.
a well-known drag racer involved with the Alcohol Funny car here, and it's been around for a long time.
Well, Leland Blee has been around the sport of drag racing for a long time. Began racing at around the age of 15. He raced an old 52 Ford. And then he's been involved in nitro cars, both front and rear, actually fuel dragsters. So Leland, he's been around the quarter mile scene for a long time. And when he got the phone call from Chuck Haynes about 4 years ago, hey, how'd you like to race a jet dragster? Leland definitely jumped at the chance, and here he is tonight.
He's paid his dues, so to speak. He's been in different categories,
Yep.
running different cards.
Yep.
And understandably, having a fun time doing the jet car thing now.
Well, I was just taking a look at the staging lanes. How come there's no cars there? There's no one sitting and standing around in the staging lanes. Well, for a good idea, obviously.
There's a very good reason they're not standing there, and we'll see that in a few minutes when they light them up. You don't want to be standing back there. It's a safety factor.
No.
The stuff they blow off the back of their exhaust and that. If you're standing there, you could lose your eyesight.
Yes, you can. We've got one jet car dragster fired, and that's Leland Blee and Pacifier. What's going on with Chuck Haynes' Volcano jet dragster? It's not going.
Sometimes your days just don't go right. You have a bad hair day, whatever, and for some reason they can't get that car started.
Well, we see one of the helpers coming
here comes
over
Jeff.
from.
He's going to come over and see if he can give him a hand. Also, there seems to be a little concern of trying to get it fired up.
NHRA officials heading on over. I see one of our starters, Eddie Shapka, heading over there as well. And it looks like they are looking underneath the jet dragster of Chuck Haynes. Something is not going. They can't get this thing fired.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a fuel distribution problem or maybe a starter problem. We hope to have some information for you race fans at home watching this and what is going on with Chuck Haynes' Volcano Jet Dragster. This has got to be very frustrating time for Chuck right now. He's basically a perfectionist, and any little thing that doesn't go right drives him absolutely crazy.
And here he is with his brand new car. We know it can run over 300 miles an hour. He loves running in Edmonton. He loves the fans up here. They're just great with him and everything, and he wants to put on a show. I can imagine he's very frustrated at this moment and that, but this is part of drag racing. Sometimes you have these problems.
That's right. I love the paint scheme on this new Jet Dragster. And,
it's beautiful.
Some conversation is going on right now between Chuck Haynes and one of his crew members.
Now, the one nice thing here, Gord, is these are jet cars. They're not piston driven. So the other jet car sitting over, the pacifier car sitting over there, he's not being burned down. If this was a piston driven situation, they would have waved the other car ahead in already. We see Chuck getting out.
He's getting out of his car.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
It is really too bad. Not the debut he wanted for this Jet Dragster, but they'll be back with the fire show. Get out of there, guys. Yikes. There's the starter being tossed in the back of the tow vehicle of the Volcano Jet Dragster. So they're going to go back into the pit area. Maybe it is a starter problem. Who knows? We hope to have some information for you, race fans. But in the meantime, Leland Blee will get the single in the pacifier Jet Dragster. Chuck Haynes' car will not make the call, and so Blee will get the single. That's too bad. That's very disappointing. I was hoping that
Chuck will get it straightened around for the
will.
next run of the night here.
Indeed he will.
Unless it's a major thing, he'll have it corrected, and he'll come back with more vengeance than before.
Indeed. Blee comes up to the start line. You're going to see the smoke and fire, full afterburners. Away he goes down the quarter mile. At the finish line, a 6:42, 212.86 miles an hour. Leland Blee takes round number 1 between he and Chuck Haynes in the Jet Dragster class. So yeah, a tough break for Chuck Haynes, but they'll head back into the pit area. We hope to see him back for round number 2 a little bit later on in this broadcast. Well, race fans at home, it's been an incredible day so far here at Budweiser Motorsports Park. The racing started at 11 o'clock this morning, and we're bringing you all the semifinals and the finals as we see the replay of Leland Blee heading down the track. We are back with more race action here on Shaw Motorsports right after this. Good news right now, though, Stan Ankers, is a Chuck Haynes. Looks like they've got the problem corrected, and we were kind of guessing it might have been a starter. It was the starter, and so what they've done is they've had to do a little bit of tinkering in the pit area in between rounds to get the starter to actually spin and get the turbines of these jet motors engaged and rolling to fire this race car. So that's good news for Chuck Haynes and the crew of the brand spanking new Volcano Jet Dragster. Of course, the car that's running very well is in the far lane, and that's Leland Blee in pacifier. Both these two drivers from Billings, Montana. And we're going to hear the whine of the turbines here in just a couple of moments.
Yeah, I knew Chuck would come back.
Yeah.
You know, unless it was a major thing, I knew he'd get it fixed. And again, he loves the crowd here. He loves to perform in front of them at Budweiser Motorsports Park.
Well, this is one of the first tracks he performed at professionally back in 1993 with the original Gravity Storm, which, of course, we've been used to seeing here the past couple of years on Shaw Motorsports broadcasts. And like I mentioned earlier on in the interview, he did pull a fast one on us and the racetrack by bringing this brand spanking new jet car to this facility and making its, well, Canadian debut, its North American debut in front of a packed crowd here at the track. Well, both cars are going. That is good news for Chuck Haynes. Time now for the fire show. Let's listen in. We're going to let the cars do the talking for just a couple of moments as Stan and I enjoy the view up here in the announcer tower.
And Leland Blee takes out his boss again, a 6:28, 140. We got problems in the far lane. Leland Blee goes off into the sand trap area, Stan Ankers.
Yeah, the safety crew up at the top end saw he was going too fast. Decided to put him in there instead of him trying to make that corner. Just safety fast. Everything looks all right though, Gord.
That's good, but an 8:37, 172.5, 1 miles an hour for Chuck Haynes. The ET off just a little bit, but the mile per hour sure beats his first pass, which was 0 on both sides of the fence.
Yes.
But I'm seeing a ton of smoke billowing behind Chuck Haynes' car. I never saw any flame.
Yeah, so Chuck again must be having the new car blues in Edmonton here, unfortunately for him.
What's happened to, one of the reasons why I think Leland Blee went into the sandbox area, where they got the car out now, but I think he had problems with the chute. The chute did not fully deploy, actually, on that pass.
Let's watch that a little closer here.
This may be the reason why.
Here we go.
There's the chute being deployed into the flame. He burned out a couple of panels on the chute, and that definitely will affect your ability to slow down. Well, this is it, race fans. The final pass of our broadcast in the jet car class. It is Chuck Haynes in a brand new Volcano jet dragster taking on Leland Blee. Blee, of course, won both earlier rounds. First round was because, Chuck Haynes had problems with his jet. But things are ready to go for this final pass of our night. Hope you've enjoyed the action here. After this pass, we will take a short commercial break because we're running out of time here in our broadcast here. We're going to talk with some of our winners, which have gathered down in the staging lanes, who are sort of sneaking around the corner now with this Jet Car Fire Show, which is going to begin right now. Listen and watch this incredible smoke and fire show, starting with Blee and Haynes. Here we go. And Chuck Haynes wins it. We go down to the staging lanes to talk with some of our winners after the show.
We're going to be looking at over 10,000 equivalent horsepower coming to the back of these two jet dragsters. problem with Chuck Haynes. Car burned out. Shoot pop. Chuck unable to make that run. Haynes in the Volcano. What's going on with Chuck's jet car? The thing just quits and pops the chutes. Well, that's not the way we wanted to finish up, but ladies and gentlemen,
Chuck Haynes, the Volcano, spooling up. The Jet. They got it going.
Original. Had all the orange bugs. I see one in LA. I haven't seen one of them in years. I'd like to do it. I'm going to do something like that.
All right, here we go. Chuck Haynes, 693, 186 miles an hour in the jet dragster, just about 200 miles an hour. And oh, that smell is coming in. Oh, that diesel fume, see all of that, makes you hungry. You gotta love the guys that are running on biofuel and it smells like French fries.